Okay, once again, I'm on this is my fifth take. It's 1 in the morning. I want to finish up. I think I know it probably seems like, okay, why does it take 3 almost 10-minute installments to just and get over the whole rock and roll thing and explain where I'm coming from with it. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's not necessary, but I want to finish it up. I was in the middle of talking about, comparing King Crimson to the band, which sort of, I kind of you just get on YouTube and you search stuff. And so anyway, I kind of ended up juxtaposing the two, which is really interesting to do because they're completely opposite in their approach. But what I want to get at is that we have this quick and dirty definition of rock and roll, which is that first of all, there's a certain instrumentation, which is electric guitar, electric bass, and drums, and then the human voice, of course. I mean, rock and roll has words, usually lyrics and some kind of singing, and then feel, and of course, a lot of I'm not a musicologist, and I've studied music a lot and stuff, but I don't know exactly how to explain feel in words. Yeah, but I think the best way of explaining it, you have to excuse me, just had Diet Pepsi. But I think the best way of explaining it is that it's the way you play the notes, other than the mathematical representation that you see on the sheet music. And so, if you think about contemporary classical music, there is no difference between the mathematical representation of the notes and what you play. And if you think about jazz and rock and roll, then there's a big difference. And I don't really think, I've been thinking of it, I don't think our quick and dirty definition is excluding a whole lot of people that we really shouldn't exclude. I mean, and obviously, there have been good rock and roll bands with horn sections, so I mean, the instrumentation thing can bend a little bit. But then again, who rocks harder, Boston or the Who? You know what I mean? Just for example. So, I don't know. But I don't think we're really excluding too many people that don't need to be excluded. I mean, I think what we're doing is we're going to kick out King Crimson, because we're going to kick out Genesis, yes, Journey, people who just layered synths on top of each other or whatever. People who were using classical devices, like disjunct time signatures and polytonality and all kinds of panchromatic crap and stuff. So I really think I think our quick and dirty definition works. And then, it's there are so many good bands out there, even just going back, I think one of my favorite things, I mean, because right now we're done with the definition, and I think we pretty much cleared up the issue. If it doesn't have a backbeat, if it doesn't have pretty much that instrumentation, then it's not rock and roll. I'm sorry. Whatever. And, piano I can see, synth even I can see, but man, there are a lot of good rock bands that were written by keyboard players. Anyway, so now that we have that out of the way, I think one of my favorite things is the Nuggets collections, which is so cool. It's like Alice Cooper in 1965. Who knew? Ted Nugent and the Amboy Dukes. You remember, most people know Cat Scratch Fever by Ted Nugent or whatever. But Ted Nugent's been playing music since '65. He's an old dude. I'm trying to think of who else. The Sonics, people, and all this stuff is on the Nuggets collection, and it's just awesome. So it's these psychedelic rock. I prefer to call it garage rock, and it sounds, pretty much like what we call garage rock. We called garage rock when I was in high school in the '90s, and Nirvana and stuff was on the radio. And then you've got really influential bands like MC5, which was like punk before they even called things punk. Punk was really like maybe like late '70s, early '80s, and if you were like anything alternative, they called you punk. I mean, they called the Talking Heads punk. Well, they don't sound anything like a punk rock band. That's true, but they were labeled punk because they were alternative to what was known on the airwaves. But MC5, it sounds, if you compared it to Anti-Flag, there's really very little difference. Pretty amazing. And, I don't talk about this stuff to you yet. I just started researching this stuff when I started. Well, I always liked to, I always loved listening to rock and roll music, but I got really interested in playing guitar, and so and then, it's like you pick up a Spin magazine here or there, or whatever, and you start, branching out. And I've really gotten interested in that garage rock era, which is a lot of neat music. And some of those bands, they had, one song, they had two songs. You don't really know anything else about them. And there's some with some really goofy names. Shadows of the Night. Who names a band Shadows of the Night? And with a K-N-I, K-N-I-G-H-T, what a ridiculous name. And their song is pretty good, actually. The one I've heard off of the Nuggets collection. But they definitely needed somebody to give them a better name. So anyway, long story short, that's pretty much it for that's pretty much it for the segments on what is rock and roll. I think you really do yourself a great favor. Wikipedia and actually the iTunes Music Store are or the All Music Guide, which is pretty much everything on the iTunes Music Store is pretty much taken from the All Music Guide. So just go on to one of those sites and just read, and as you read, get on LimeWire, or if you can afford it, which I can't, but if you can, get on LimeWire or get on iTunes and buy music, and you'll just discover all sorts of amazing stuff. There's I know I was looking at, I can't remember who, I think it was Built to Spill, and they were saying that there was an influence from the past called a Shriekback. And so I couldn't get it on LimeWire, so I downloaded one of their songs. It's really cool. It sounds like Stanley Clarke, essentially. But it's kind of it's funk music. It's not rock and roll. But it's interesting because I don't know. I just really it's a good tune. It has an interesting, very interesting rhythmically. Kind of, really obscure. And then I, Pere Ubu. Who's ever heard of Pere Ubu? I got it going and I found that. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Nick Drake, Elliott Smith. Let's see what else I got. Iggy Pop and the Stooges.